Welcome back. We've reached Wacky Workbench. This stage is the odd one out of the game, in my view, because the levels in Sonic CD have the same themes as Sonic 1. Palm Tree Panic to Green Hill, Collision Chaos to Spring Yard, Tidal Tentacles to Labyrinth, and Quartz Quadrant up. The only theme I can place for Wacky Workbench is the bonus stages in Sonic 1 on the Master System, with spring floors launching at different heights. The gimmick here is the checkered floor, which can blast us to great heights as well. As fun as this sounds, the top of this stage has sections which are walled off and needs to be descended to move on. We'll go to the past as some of those walls have openings for us. While I'm in the past, I'll go to where the transporter would be for this stage if going for the achievement for hunting 14 transporters and 12 metal sonic projectors. Most transporters are easy, except for this one, which I found to be cheaply hidden. We need to go to a piston up ahead and let it not crush us. Most of the hazards of this type results in an instant death. So it would be the last thing players think of while trying everything else that comes to mind. So let's say we have reached about halfway already, if not further. And we can move to Act 2. What I'll also try to do is do one act in the past and one in the future. I might have a problem in stage 7, but I'll give it a shot. Just need to go back down for that future sign. The timeline is also well implemented for this kind of stage. A construction site in the past, a industrial facility in the present, rundown in the bad future, and as we move to the future, we'll see what happens. So it's a Wonderland inspired from Toyland in Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse, released on the Sega Genesis in 1990. That's what at least comes to mind when I see this. One of the things I observed in Good Futures are the types of species that roam free in each level. In Tidal Tempest they are fish, in Wacky Workbench there are birds that fly over a checkered floor, and then there are penguins on the stable ground, which is appropriate because if one of those penguins fell on the floor, then the ceiling would be a different colour. We are approaching the end of the act now. We have reached Act 3. We need to just get over this hurdle and make our descent back down to the floor. And that is the E-Brazer, inspired from the Mystic Cave boss in Sonic 2, where we have to watch out for debris as he is drilling. And we use the checkered floor to send to the next story. For the final phase, we just have to get out of the way of these spikes. And as we go up, we can see that Robotnik is stuck on the roof. It's actually the third boss that something stupid has happened. Palm Tree Panic, the mechanics just fail on their own. Quartz Quadrant, the conveyor belt just eventually destroys the egg conveyor. And in this act, he is just stuck on the roof. But moving on to Stardust Speedway. It's based off the design from Starlight in Sonic 1, and it also utilises Sonic Speed. The timeline for the stage is an ancient civilization with Roman architecture in the past, Speedway itself in the present, the same in the bad future but ruined, dark and stormy, and an amusement park with a Disneyland theme on top of it for the good future. These acts can be done relatively quickly compared to other stages. Act 1 contains mostly ramps, loops and switches to change lanes. Act 2 focuses more on changeable springs and tubes where we have to choose the directions to go. Like this here. Managed to get to the end in under a minute. Okay, so we've gone to the future, so we'll try and go into the past. Act 2 only really stands out because of a big structure in the background, in the middle of the act. In the present and bad future, it's a big statue of Robotnik. In the past and good future, it's a castle. I'm afraid we've gone past it, my apologies. This is the last network of before the end of the stage, and we can move to the boss. I said before that the bosses in this game were not my favourite. This is the exception. It's a race against Metal Sonic. This fight makes reappearances in Sonic Generations in 2011 and Sonic Mania in 2017. The criteria for winning is slow, but the worst hazard is losing momentum on the upward slopes, which allows Robotnik to catch us if we fall behind. The beam he fires is an insta-kill, which raises the stakes. That's exactly what I mean. We're nearly at the end. And we've rescued Amy. And gives us a big hug. The game's not over yet though. We've still got Metallic Madness to get through. Based off the design, it's from Scrap Brain and Sonic 1, full of disappearing platforms, crushing pistons, and cyclic platforms to name a few. In this timeline, it's a construction site in the past, decayed in the bad future, and a botanic factory in the good future. We'll try and warp to the past if we can, but unfortunately I haven't had enough practice to warp consistently here. There's another path cycle, so we'll try using that. Yeah, sorry about that, we'll stick to the present. We're getting close to the goal anyway. And straight to Act 2. This is the longest act in the game. We'll go through these pistons and there should be a future sign to the left. And warping on this wheel should be certain. Metallic Madness is featured in Sonic Mania as well as Stardust Speedway. Unfortunately, time warping is not part of the gameplay, but more mechanics are added to make up for it and still enjoyable. I'll be playing Sonic Mania at some point, so I'll elaborate when we get there. This act can be was very confusing in my first playthrough because there are parts where I have to move up, left and then right. A traditional level emphasises on just going right. At this point of the act, we run the risk of going round in circles as well if we go in the wrong direction. We just have to make sure we don't get crushed by these pistons. And make sure we don't go right, because that will send us a ways back. We can come back to our original size. And if we get out of this pit and go through the one-way door on the left, it will take us even further backwards. I fell for both of those traps in my first playthrough and died from exceeding the 10-minute time limit, so don't do what I did. We've reached the final act and the final boss. We need to penetrate a few defences before reaching the boss. We start by getting through these typical hazards, and then after that we have to navigate the platforms over this bottomless pit, causing instant death if we fall. I think this is the only bottomless pit in the game, come to think of it. Next, we have to shift to the back there to bypass this wall of spikes. And finally, we have to wait for these firefly magnets to appear for us to remove them. And we've reached the final boss. It's just going to unveil itself, and it's the egg spinner. Each hit removes one of the 4 blades. Once the last blade is gone, the game is won, and we've already gotten rid of one already. One more to go. He's going to launch this blade at us diagonally. Then he's going to try and use the blade to hop us to death. Yeah, that's the right word, hop. And that's the game. So we've freed the planet from Robotnik's control and restored the timeline. I'd rate Sonic CD as a solid game that I enjoy playing if I have about an hour of time to spare. The Sonic the Hedgehog game series as a whole since 1991 contains some amazing games, but some games I admit are a swing and a miss. The way I scale them is I don't want to play at the bottom like Sonic 2006. The games I'm indifferent to and are boring in the middle of that scale, like Sonic Forces released in 2017, and games I like playing more than once or investing time to 100% complete them when applicable. So, some of those games I will be playing in the future. I would rate Sonic CD on the high side of that scale. A few notes of criticism worth commenting on is the acts being short. They are designed to be for exploration rather than speedrunning, and the time periods make up for this as well. The bosses are terrible, apart from Metal Sonic, I agree. I don't like finding time spaces of time warp. Bonus post-game is time attack. Get below a total of 30 minutes for the game, you unlock a special stage time attack. Get below 5 minutes of that, you get level select, including time periods of your choice. Thank you for watching. I'll be playing Spyro 2, the remastered version, where the original was released in 1999. I will see you there.